A very controversial discussion has taken place over, I'd say, probably the past week ago, and it involved fan art specifically about this series DanDaDan. If you guys are not familiar with it, DanDaDan has been releasing during the fall simcast. It's about a popular girl and a not so popular guy trying to prove whether or not ghosts or aliens exist. It's comedic, has a lot of action. I'd say it's a pretty solid watch. I've been reacting to it and it's been uploaded on my second channel if you guys are interested in that. I've been a little bit behind, I ain't gonna lie, but I'm trying to get back on track in regards to editing those videos and other series as well. Eventually I'll be doing Solo Leveling Season 2 and Sakamoto Days when it drops next month. Getting back to the topic at hand, I do want to come out and say that this is going to be a little bit more of a sensitive topic. I'm going to try to do my best to be mature about it, and I ask those of you that are going to leave comments on this video to do the same. Also, if this isn't your type of video, I understand. I'm not going to judge you for it. I suggest you just not watch. I originally made a TikTok about it, but I want to go into more detail because number one, I don't like making long TikToks. Personally, I feel like if I'm gonna make a long video, I might as well make a YouTube video about it. And then two, there's been a little bit more information that has released since I made that TikTok. So the big hoopla that's been going around involves a 60-year-old artist who did some fan art about DanDaDan. The fan art involved Momo and Akoron, who are supposed to be Japanese, but in her fan art, she made these two characters black. Now, when I first saw it on Twitter, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool, and I kept scrolling. Well, there's been a lot of people who are not happy with this fan art. There's a specific individual, and I'm gonna loosely quote it, but they were like, I am Japanese, and we don't like the fact that you're trying to make our characters black. We're not Disney characters. Then this person double downs and says, oh, well, not all you people are bad.
What do you mean by that?
Other people are going back and forth with this discussion. Honestly, it's gotten really messy. I've tried my best to either, I don't know what I'll do when I'm editing it, but the names are either going to be excluded or blurred out because I think that this is a topic that should be discussed. However, I don't necessarily want anybody to go and attack this individual. There's so much hate, so much negativity that's already going on in the world, and I feel like if I were to include their names, I'd just be spreading that instead of trying to end that cycle. When it comes to anime, for the most part, the characters, they're Asian, specifically Japanese. Now, depending on what type of series it is and the location, the characters could be Chinese, Korean, black, or nothing, since they're supposed to be an alien. Have you guys ever heard of the saying that any publicity is good publicity? Now, personally, I don't believe that. I think that sometimes you can definitely have negative publicity. This individual was getting harassed so badly that they had to make their account private. Now, she's gained a lot of support from others since then and unprivated her account. At the time I'm recording this, she's jumped up to like 25,000 followers. Heck, even Akoron's English voice actor, who's black, and his girlfriend, I believe she voices one of Momo's friends, and they changed their profile pictures to the fan art. And you have Japanese fans saying that they should be fired from their roles because of this, all over some fan art. If you want my immediate quick answer to this is fan art. I don't get why people are so upset about it. I think it's fine as long as people aren't trying to push that their fan art is better than the original source material and that it should replace it. I think that's when the problem arises, especially because they're essentially trying to change Japanese culture. So in that regard, I do understand a little bit why those that are Japanese are pushing back on this. In the anime community, let's be honest, it's super toxic, and to be fair, you could make the argument that every community has some form of toxicity whenever you meet the right people. But I'd say with the surge in anime's popularity, the toxicity has gotten much worse. For example, the My Hero Academia community is probably the biggest one, where there's all sort of weird shipping they do. And I know with the additional pages that consist of Deku and Uraraka, oh, fans, they're definitely going to be pissed about that one. I could go on and on and on about how toxic these communities are, but the amount of racism that has spanned from this, specifically by the DanDaDan community, it's insane. I will say this, when it comes to anime, I love it whenever black characters are represented, because I think for the most part anime does a phenomenal job of it, except for Killer B. Yeah, that brother, he's definitely a stereotype. In a lot of series and specifically games, I don't think that they do black characters justice. For example, Phoenix from Valorant and Miles Morales from Spider-Man. Yeah, I know he's mixed, but still, when have you ever seen a black individual have the type of cut that they have walking down the street? I talk about this with my best friend all the time, how stupid that cut is, and I don't understand why it's so overplayed. Back in high school, I went to a 99% black high school, and there was over 1,000 students there, and not a single one of those people had a hairstyle like that. Now, I'll stand on this 100%. I think to a certain degree that black people are sensitive and they overreact to certain things. I understand that what happened in the past and everything that we've gone through and experienced, that's why they're sensitive like this. But I also think that some people let this shackle them and restrict them to where they can't move on with their life, and they kind of use it as an excuse. I don't see color, at least that's how I've been raised. I got black, white, Hispanic, Asian friends. I also love black, white, Hispanic women, you name it. As long as, you know, they have a good personality, I don't care. Heck, they could be blue for all I care. I don't see color, and I think a lot more people should look at the world that way. For the Disney thing that this person mentioned, I assume that they're referencing how all these live actions are getting more black actors and actresses, like for example The Little Mermaid. And I know that it's not Disney, well, at least I don't think it is, but I know more recently Romeo and Juliet's getting a live action. Tom Holland's supposed to be Romeo, and there's a black woman who is, I don't know her name, but she's supposed to be Juliet. Twitter went crazy about that, and same with Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl. Let's just call a spade a spade. Hollywood is blackwashing these roles. Now, do I think every role needs to be casted by a black man or a black woman? No, I don't. However, content is always getting remastered for the next generation. There are plays, there's animation, there's Blu-ray, and now we're in the live action era. Back in the day, black people never got proper representation or even representation at all. If we're in a day and age where there's a lot less racism and a lot more opportunities, how else are black people supposed to get actors or be actors in these leading roles? The color of the skin doesn't change who these characters are. Cinderella, guess what? She's still gonna be Cinderella. Ariel, she's still gonna be Ariel. For Disney and Hollywood, I think it's fine. I do agree that they try to force it down our throats a little bit. If you want a non-race example, look at Taylor Swift and how the NFL constantly shows her. I love Travis Kelce, but why is it anytime that he does something, he could catch a ball, he could make a block, he could even miss a catch, and the NFL will find a way to show that woman on the screen? I get it, she's popular, but as an NFL fan, I don't want to see that. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was even a hype trailer, and I don't necessarily know if I would be able to find it to be able to play it, but they had a hype trailer before the season, and Taylor Swift was on there multiple times, where someone like CJ Stroud, who won Rookie of the Year and was, you know, this hot commodity, he wasn't in the trailer at all. And there are other NFL players that didn't make the cut as well. Circling back to anime, it's just a fan art. She's not hired to work on DanDaDan and isn't trying to change the culture or anything. I was gonna ignore this post because, like I said, I am a firm believer that some people are sensitive, but this also reminded me of how different people treat black cosplayers. There are different times whenever I see someone cosplaying a character and I see, you know, just racial remarks about it, or somebody saying, oh, well, Zoro's not black or Goku's not black. Like, what's the big deal? Of course they're not black, but these individuals, they like this series, they're trying to support it, so why can't they? I think this got a lot of attention and was brought up because, well, I've never seen a fan art get treated like this, and a lot of people are speculating that it's specifically because the characters are black, which could potentially be true, but I don't have a definitive conclusion as to why. But I will say I've never seen, you know, anybody say anything about characters that didn't have melanin in the fan art. It got blown way out of proportion, and I think because of that, some people tried to use this as an excuse to be racist, which that's never a cool thing to do. I think when people say, hey, use this fan art over the original material, I think that's when it's a problem, because I think whenever that happens, it gets into the realm of affecting someone's culture, which is no bueno. But yeah, that's the whole thing with this DanDaDan fan art. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. I wish a lot of people would just enjoy fan art, enjoy the manga material, and just keep it moving. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.